Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather brief on Tuesday the 20th of September. Today's weather brief will cover a summary on the West European 5-day average temperatures, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. Firstly, we'll take a summarised look at the mean surface temperatures across Europe. And between days 11 and 15, generally there has been no significant changes from yesterday, and that is for the majority of Europe to have temperatures generally trending 2 or perhaps 3 degrees above climate averages, particularly across some central and western areas of Europe. Between days 6 and 10, some changes are evident from yesterday, and as you can see, there is a trend from the majority of the available forecast models for temperatures to be significantly above climate averages across the majority of central and western areas of Europe. Some areas may well experience temperatures at least 4 or 5 degrees above climate norms. And finally, within the short term, there has been no significant changes, and that is for the majority of Europe to have temperatures generally near or trending slightly above climate averages, but by only around 1 or 2 degrees at very most. And now taking a look at the expected temperatures across the United Kingdom in closer detail. And between days 11 and 15, as you can see, the majority of the available forecast models generally have temperatures at least 2, if not 3 degrees above a climate mean of around 12 or 13 degrees Celsius. There is model divergence, however, with regards to exactly just how above temperatures are likely to be. However, the solid red line, which is my specific temperature forecast, has temperatures around 3 degrees above climate norms initially, but then dropping to around 2 degrees towards the end of the forecast period. Given good model agreement and consistency, confidence levels are medium to high between days 6 and 10, for temperatures to initially be around 1 or 2 degrees above climate averages, before then rising to become at least 3 or 4 degrees above climate norms as we move into the final week of September. There is some model divergence, and hence there is some uncertainty with regards to just how high temperatures are likely to become. Some of the recent GFS deterministic models, for example, have temperatures at least 7 or 8 degrees above climate norms. These are model outliers for the time being, and I expect temperatures to be around 3 or perhaps 4 degrees above climate norms between days 6 and 10. The following weather chart for Thursday the 29th of September helps to illustrate why temperatures are likely to be generally trending above climate averages as we move towards the opening few days of October. A forecasted area of high pressure to the south of the UK is forecast to combine with low pressure to the north and northwest to produce a mild, if not very mild, southwesterly air mass across the United Kingdom, and hence generally signalling above climate average temperatures. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, there is very good, if not excellent, model agreement for temperatures to be generally within 1 or 2 degrees of climate averages. I expect temperatures to be very near to a climate norm of around 14 degrees Celsius over the next 2 to 5 days. It is of worth to highlight and place emphasis that the final week of September is likely to produce above or potentially well above average temperatures across the United Kingdom. And now taking a closer look at the expected European temperatures in some closer detail. And there is some model agreement and consistency from yesterday with regards to days 11 to 15, and that is for the majority of Europe to have temperatures generally near or trending slightly above climate averages by around 1 or 2 degrees. However, at the start of the forecast period, temperatures may well still be around 3 or perhaps 4 degrees above climate norms, particularly across parts of central and western areas of Europe, including Switzerland, France and Spain, for example. The latest France model comparison graph helps to illustrate this situation, and as you can see within the highlighted red circle covering days 11 to 15, temperatures are forecast to be at least 2 degrees above climate averages, though perhaps as much as 3 or 4 degrees at the start of the forecast period. The majority, if not all, of the available forecast models signal temperatures to be at least 2 or 3 degrees above climate averages across many areas of Europe between days 6 and 10. Central and western areas of Europe in particular may well have temperatures at least 4 or perhaps even 5 degrees above climate norms in what is forecast to be a particularly warm spell of weather for late September. The latest Benelux model comparison graph helps to illustrate the situation very well, and as you can see within the highlighted red circle, as we move into the opening week of Monday the 26th of September, all of the available forecast models have temperatures at least 3 or 4 degrees above climate averages. There are some model outliers with regards to taking temperatures up to 7 or 8 degrees above climate norms, and there is some uncertainty with regards to just how high temperatures are likely to be. However, confidence levels are medium to high to suggest that between days 6 and 10 across the majority of Europe, temperatures are forecast to be at least 3 or 4 degrees above climate norms. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, there is little change from yesterday, and that is for the majority of Europe to have temperatures very near to climate averages, though perhaps just trending 1 or 2 degrees above across central and western areas in particular. And now taking a look at the expected precipitation totals across Scandinavia, and there has generally been little change within the short term, and that is for the next 5 to 7 days for precipitation totals to continue to be generally above climate averages, particularly across northern regions of Sweden, Finland and also western areas of Norway, where in excess of 80 to 100 millimetres of rainfall is possible. Within the long term, as we move towards the end of September and into early October, there is a new trend within today's latest forecast model data, and that is for an area of high pressure to build across the majority of Scandinavia and bring generally below climate average precipitation totals. However, this is a new signal, and further model runs are required with regards to consistency and also confidence levels. We're now taking a look at global weather alerts, which highlight significant deviations from normal. And there is a continued trend within today's latest forecast models for the majority of Australia, with the exception of some far southern and southeastern areas, to have precipitation totals well below climate averages over the next 7 to 14 days. Some central and northern regions may well experience little or no measurable rainfall for at least 2 weeks. There is also a developing signal that many western areas of the United States, particularly over the next 7 to 10 days, are forecast to have temperatures at least 8 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit above climate averages. Mean surface temperatures in excess of 25 to 35 degrees Celsius are forecast in what is forecast to be a particularly very warm, if not hot, 7 to 10 days across many western areas of the United States. And finally, there is an interesting signal developing across the majority of China, and that is for temperatures to be at least 4 to 6 degrees below climate averages across southeastern areas of the country. Yet in contrast, many northern and northwestern areas of the country may well have temperatures at least 4 to 6 degrees above climate norms. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.